Good morning, Love Tribe. Welcome back to another TR's Tarot Talk reading. Today is big. I haven't been doing a whole lot of twin flame stuff, and I did that with purpose and intent because I felt like we were kind of in stuck energy, and instead of kind of perpetuating that over and over again, I decided to give it a little bit of a break. However, we have a huge union energetic window coming up in during the eclipse season. We are finishing out old soul contracts, karmic situations, kind of leveling up depending on where you are on the journey, right? But leveling up a little bit. And so we're going to take a look at collectively. Now, remember, this is not a private reading. If you'd like your own private reading, there's no better time than to get it than now, because I'm running a holiday special for an hour to an hour and a half reading. It's usually $100, and today until January 2nd, it is only $70. And guys, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I go very deep and in depth, and I'm very generous with my time. So if you would like to book your own personal reading, please go to the description box below. Everything you need to do that is down there. You can also gift it to another person, a family, friends, your twin. You know, if you're at that place in the journey where you're openly talking about it, anybody. But follow the directions below and then email me with their contact information, and I will, make a really nice gift letter and contact them and let them know that you gifted them a private reading. And then I will make arrangements with them on what content they would like that reading to include. Okay. Also, Patreon. If you're not yet a member, you may want to consider it, because I'm about to love bomb that place. I've already uploaded, I believe, 2. I can't remember how many videos this week, but I'm definitely hammering out some more. And so if you're interested, if you resonate with being a twin flame, I've created a community of all twins over there. It's $11.11 a month. And that's the tier you want to join if you are a twin. My New Year's resolution is I'm going to learn how to become more tech savvy. I'm going to be doing more lives over there. We're going to do Q&As. We're going to do a lot more content for twins, because I want us to do the healing that we need to do in order to get to where we need to be for this union window. Okay, so that's all the announcements I have. I'm going to bring you down to your reading. This is a very in-depth reading. It might take a while. So if you'd like to pause the video and go get yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, maybe some snacks, and hang out. It is not a pick-a-pile. It's a collective reading for all divine masculines, divine feminines at this time on their journey. So let's bring you down. Another thing that is my going to be my 2022 endeavor to tackle is a real camera that I can hover over top of the cards so that people can see better. So, I'm going to be doing a lot of changes over here. All right, so this is the masculine's current energy, the feminine's current energy, their shared energy. This is shadow work and blocks in the masculine's energy, shadow work and blocks in the feminine's energy. And then we have advice for both of you and advice separate. Okay, masculine advice from spirit, feminine advice from spirit, and advice for both of them as a team, because they're one, right here. All right, and at the very end, we're going to get some messages and love songs, and I hope this resonates. And we're just going to start peeling back the onion, okay? Oh, by the way, I'm using 2 new decks today. I'm using the Star Codes Astro Oracle, and actually I'm using several new decks today. I'm using the Soul's Journey by James Van Praagh, which is new. I'm using the archetypes, the Wild Unknown Archetypes by Kim Kranz, Divine Abundance Oracle Cards by Tasha Silver, and the New Moonology Manifestation Cards by Yasmin Boland. But I'm only using the book for the astro and the archetypes, and that's because I am not an astrologer and I really want to learn it. So what better way to learn it than to play with it, right? Okay, so the masculine's current energy is 6th house, sustainability. I want to move this up. Actually, we'll move all this up so we can unpack this down here. It's going to be a very in-depth reading, can you tell? All right, so the masculine is currently in the 6th house, number 44, master number 44, of sustainability. And the 1st house, arrival, number 39, which breaks down to a 12, arrival. So I kind of like that energy, huh? The masculine's arriving, sustainability. Okay, so what do you want me to do, Spirit? Let's read from the book for these two before we confuse it with the next cards. All right, so number 44, 6th house, sustainability. If your chart were a village map, the 6th house would represent the central kitchen, gym, health clinic, and dog park. The 6th house speaks where you live out your daily habits, your work environment, your pets, your mind, your body connection, and how you tend your health. The action of this card is work smarter, not harder. The opposite of a dysfunctional situation is a sustainable ecosystem. Make your life sustainable. Look at the time, resources, love, care, and sweat you put into your life and assess whether you are putting as much in as you get out and whether you're receiving as much as you put in. The input and output have to match. Maybe not every day, but certainly every week or month, or you cannot sustain in the long haul. The 6th house concerns your daily work, not necessarily your vocation or longed for career. If you're waiting tables to support your acting career, the 6th house speaks both of your day job and what you do toward that dream. Put in some time and effort on your dreams to bring these two paths closer to being one and the same. Assess your work environment. Besides the money and professional trajectory, most jobs offer an opportunity to bump souls with others, a stage to work through karma. Oh, that's interesting. It's a stage to work through karma and round out personalities. Camaraderie help to create a healthy work environment. Attitude makes all the difference. Watch where you put your mind. Nervousness can turn into chronic anxiety, which taxes the health. Give your mental hamsters something worthy to work on and keep them from merely spinning. Look at your daily habits and invest in good self-care. Make healthy food choices and healthy activity enjoyable. Play with the dog or talk to the wild birds. Time with animals can restore the spirits as well as be great exercise. The challenge is worry can give you the illusion that you're taking care of business, but it does not further your goals. It's a cycle. And the gift is you can create a beautiful and sustainable ecosystem out of your life as you pursue a delicious, healthy work-life balance. All right, so what I'm seeing here is the masculine's current energy with this card is working on self-mastery, right? Working on the mind-body-spirit connection, working on trying to maintain. I'm hearing maintain because we've got sustainability, right? They're just trying to maintain, quite honestly. The energy I'm getting from this is that they are trying not to overthink things. They're trying to be practical. They're working hard. They're more concerned at the moment with creating a healthy lifestyle for themselves. And probably because it was extremely out of balance And on their journey, they've been learning about balance, because I'm seeing the meditating person who is creating this energetic, foundation, sustainability. So the masculine's current energy in this card is they're working on creating healthy changes in their life, changes that are sustainable, changes that are for the long haul. And they're focusing on self, which is actually a very good thing. It may not feel good to the feminine because, of course, we want them focused on us. However, we had to focus on us. We still should be focusing on us. And it looks like the masculine is currently being guided by spirit to focus on self. Good coffee. All right. Next is first house, arrival. And look at it. It looks like divine masculine energy, doesn't it? I mean, of course, they femmed it up a little bit, but look at the horns. Look at the world. I'm thinking, when I read intuitively, we've got the stag, right? That's divine masculine energy. We've also got the world, which is about cycles. It's about grounding, is what I'm hearing, grounding. So there is kind of a balance here in the masculine's energy, because they're spending time in the ethers, right? Meditating, connecting with spirit. But they're also grounding and working on their earthly cycles. And this, I really like the part where it talked about karma, working out karma. This could be, if they're in a third party situation, or if they're if they're closing out karmic soul contracts, then that's also where their focus is at the moment. So first house, masculine. The first house describes how you enter the world, your first impressions, and the birth of your journey of self-discovery. If your chart were a village map, the first house would be the gateway and information center. Planets in the first house are just about to rise over the eastern horizon, where the sun would be just before dawn. So we feel them very strongly. The action of this card is take responsibility for how you are perceived, how people see you. As you walk in the door, assess what you lead with. What's your mannerisms, your appearance, and signals, and what your manners, appearance, and signals say. Notice if you lead with charm or prickly defenses, with your mind or with your heart, or whether you are versatile, changing your approach to fit each circumstance. Investigate how this first impression affects your identity and interactions. People read what you put out, whether you are acting as a business, as a person, or as a couple, and it's up to you to ensure that how you present yourself matches with your intention. If you feel misunderstood, look for misperception, yours or theirs, underneath any tension, and see what can be done to clear this lens. If you strive to be invisible, neutral, or enjoy an air of mystery and play your cards close to the chest, it becomes easier for others to project their assumptions onto you. Consider becoming more transparent and letting your inner worth shine. The first house can also bring with it a surge of temper or other strong emotion that rushes to your head like mercury in a hot thermometer. If this happens, bring your awareness back down to your feet. This metaphor also applies to a business or project. Leadership may be too strong and attentions need to be brought back to the boots on the ground. The challenge is you are challenged to see beyond the shallowness of appearances, see behind smoke screens, and take responsibility for how you are seen and perceived. The gift is evaluate how you interact with the world as the beginning of a journey of self-discovery. So this really is the masculine taking control of his life, working on his appearance for some of them. Maybe they were I know that when I was unhappy in my life, I let myself go to hell. I mean, literally, I looked horrible. I felt horrible. My body was riddled with disease. And I wasn't loving myself. And it looks to me like right now the masculine is being guided, um, excuse me, by spirit to focus on their own self-worth, focus on how they're perceived out in the world, taking control and stepping into a leadership uh, authority. In order to become the leader of anything, you first have to know how to self-govern. And it really does feel like the masculine, their current energy is um, learning how to self-govern, learning how to balance in their own life. They could be, going to the gym. They could be detoxing from addictive behaviors, quitting smoking, quitting drinking. They could be working on self-esteem. They could be working on how to create a foundation that is sustainable and safe and secure and grounded. Okay, so let's take a look at their archetype card. We have the River. So I'm going to look that up. These are the only two that we're reading from the book, guys, until I learn them. And of course, I always read intuitively on top of it. So just intuitively, the River is all about what I'm seeing as a reflection. Okay, the horse is looking at its reflection, taking stock in its actions, right? In who it is. It's like looking into the mirror and learning to flow, right? The river flows. And water is amazing. Have you ever seen how strong a dam has to be built in order to really, really hold back the river or a body of water? Water is very malleable. It will find a way to flow around or over an obstacle. And so I don't know why I needed to say that, but maybe that's what the masculine's doing, is they're undamming their energy and learning how to look at themselves in the reflection of the water, to feel the emotions of that reflection, and to allow it to flow more freely. Okay? So I'm going to read from the book because it may not have anything to do with what I just channeled, but that's what I'm channeling for that card intuitively. The River, 131. All right, the river, the stream, the flow, the current. There is a reason so many rituals of change and rebirth take place in the river. It is forgiveness embodied in physical form. Without asking anything in return, the river washes away what is no longer necessary, smoothing over sharp edges and accepting all of our mistakes and grievances. Once we step in, we are no longer in control. The river carries us farther down the stream of transformation than we ever planned to go. Its waters have a special gift for reflecting back to us a new and dreamlike vision. Once the tears have passed, we see ourselves as we haven't before, with a little more lightness, grace, and fluidity. Keep in mind that you that stand within the river is the real you, full of your deep emotions and potential, with nothing to hide, nothing to judge. May you drink in the sight of your true self, the reflection of your soul. All right. When in the light attribute, see, I don't read reversals in these, but we'll read both. Light attribute, acceptance, grace, reflection, forgiveness. In the dark attribute, torment of emotions, flooding, overwhelming. It says you can only resist the river for so long. Eventually it will pull you toward change, so you may as well get in with style and grace. Oh, look at that. It's Cancer energy. It says the river is emotion. When you are in the current, you will know it by the bursting forth of tears, laughter, song, despair, and the emotional flow in its current. So I do believe that the masculine has really moved into this energy of self-reflection, self-growth. So really self-focused here, purging, releasing, steeped in their emotions, looking at their life, and then trying to create change in their external. Like here it talks about how are you perceived by others, and the river is all about how you're perceived by self, looking in the reflection of your truest self and allowing yourself to cleanse, heal, purge, right? I feel like the masculine has been purging and learning a lot about himself and the changes he wants to create in the world and how he wants to step up and lead. And in order to do that, he really needs to find a healthy foundation within his own life, within his own spiritual development. And so that's a very beautiful place, by the way, for the masculine to be. So now we're going to take a look at messages of love oracle cards. I was asking about their current energy. That's their current energy. We're going to take a look at their beliefs at the moment, right? Around their journey, possibly with you. We have vulnerability. There's that river, right? You can be completely open with this person. Now, I'm not going to take the second part of that message at the moment. We'll integrate that when it comes to the two of you together. But what I'm seeing here is vulnerability. The masculine is becoming vulnerable. He's really looking at his flaws. He's looking at what he's built in his life. He's focused on his money, security, body, mind, spirit, right? And he's also becoming vulnerable in ways that he never has before through facing that mirror, that inner mirror, which, by the way, is probably brought about by the divine mirror, which is the twin flame journey. So I think the masculine is trying to find a balance here because we have water energy, which is feminine in nature, and we have masculine energy with the stag, and we have spiritual energy with the sixth house, which really isn't technically, but it is because it's all about allowing ourselves to show up in the world in different ways, right? I know on my part of this journey as the feminine, I needed to step up and take control of my life. I needed to find what my strengths were and step into them. I needed to find where my weaknesses were, and I needed to make changes and adjustments. And also because all of us, not just the masculine, but the feminines too, we are learning how to create a garden in which we can create the heaven on earth experience. And it starts with self. And there's also a lot of karmic lessons and karmic contracts that are right now being called into completion. I see that with the world, and I see that with what was spoken about karma. So I really like the energy the masculine's in. I have one tarot card for the masculine's current energy, and we have temperance, and I see that. They're learning to be vulnerable. They're taking a look at their life. They're healing. They're balancing their masculine and feminine energies. They're understanding more than they've ever understood before. It's a number 14, breaks down to a 5, which is change, right? We've got 12, which is a 3, which is all about mind, body, spirit. And number 44, which is a master number, and it's all about security, stability, and foundations. So it really makes sense here. We've got number 34, which breaks down to 7. 7 is also about facing challenges. Well, 7s are all about taking stock, I think. A 7 is, the 7 of Wands is taking stock of how far you've come and being willing to protect your progress. 7 of Swords is taking stock. Am I safe? Do I need to run? Do I need to lie? Do I feel safe? 7 of Cups is taking stock. I have options. I have choices. How do I want to make them? And the 7 of Cups, or no, we just talked about Cups. What was the last one? 7 of Pentacles, taking stock on what you've invested in. So 7s for me, aside from being a huge spiritual number, the number of the Holy Spirit, actually, it's all about taking stock. And so I feel like the masculine is really in a place of creating change, creating stability, security, vulnerability, balancing the masculine and feminine energies, restoring their divine template is what it feels like. Wow. I told you it was going to be a deep reading, guys. All right, let's take a look at the feminine. So the feminine has Vesta, hearth. Wow. And the wind is actually whistling through my window. All right, so Vesta is a number 5, also change. Opposition. I want to show you the cards because they're new and they're pretty. Okay, hearth. We all know home is where the hearth is, right? Hearth is where the heart is. And then we have opposition. Look at, we've got the masculine energy and the feminine is in opposition. It's in fighter mode, confrontation. There's probably a battle raging in a lot of us right now. I know it is with me, of really wanting and desiring to stop being so damn nice. I talked, and if you guys are members over in Patreon, I did a coffee chat for the twins, and I talked about my current feelings of feeling like I was spiritually bypassing. Like when I get angry, I don't allow myself to really feel the anger and transmute it. I bypass it. But I love him, that codependent freaking feeling of I have to be the better person. I have to take the higher road. I'm the divine feminine. It's spiritually wrong for me to be angry, for me to be opposing, for me to be feel those lower vibrations of guilt, shame, anger, regret, fear. And I think the feminines are being tested at the moment, not tested on whether or not they can actually spiritually bypass and pretend that, everything's coming up roses and blowing unicorn smoke up your butt, but to actually be able to look at things and say, I have a right to be angry. I have a right to speak my truth. I have a right to be opposing when things are not treating me in the way I deserve to be treated. And it's allowing ourselves to feel that energy, because the triggers are gifts. And so when you get triggered, it's not to put a Band-Aid on the gushing wound. We are actually supposed to do healing with it. So I'm going to read from the book, Vesta with Hearth. Vesta is, I kind of know the energy of Vesta. It's all about The inner temple is what I'm feeling, the inner temple. So we'll take a look at these. Number 32, which is a 5. 5s are about change. 3 is about, mind, body, spirit, mother, father, God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. There's so many trinities, right? Mother, maiden, crone. There's one for the masculine too. It's like warrior. I don't remember, but it's all about honoring the entirety of spirit. And 2s are about choices. 5s are about change. So we've got 2, 3, the energy of the 3s with 32 and 53. The energy of the 5, which is 32, added together is 5. And in 53, there's another 5. And 53 added together is an 8, which is all about cycles and infinity. It's all about spirit and flow. And it is kind of the yoni. The Vesica Pisces. All right, so we broke that down. Let's take a look. Vesta, hearth. Vesta calls you to be a hearth fire, to share yourself for the benefit of all, but still leaving yourself enough energy to live healthfully and give again another day. The second largest and brightest asteroid between Jupiter and Mars was named after Vesta, oldest goddess of hearth, home, and family, and the center of a strong community. The fire in her temple was never allowed to go out, and the fire in the hearth of every home was sacred to her. She did not get involved in politics or the misadventures of the masculine gods. Action is evaluate yourself and your life. Each human's task is to help reduce the total suffering on earth and increase the total joy. Your joy and suffering matters as much. See, this is what I was picking up from this. You matter. It's okay if you're feeling opposing, but it's there to teach us, right? So, where was I? Your joy and suffering matters as much, neither more nor less than anyone else's. Do not burn yourself up for another's cause, nor withhold your warmth, but share what you have to offer. This is not a situation where you need to take sides. Come back to the center, to the flame, to your hearth and your core values. Focus on that center flame instead of the personalities involved. Remember what matters. Find that deep calm within. Light a candle with a prayer and use it to bring your focus to the center and let the rest fall away. Then decide, advise, and operate from there. It may be time to take a retreat, a chance to clear yourself, clear your energy fields, cleanse your environment, reclaim your temple. If a relationship is truly of value and important to your soul, the person or team you're involved with will honor the process. Whoa. Was that just a call out or what? Yeah. Reclaim your temple. If a relationship is truly of value and important to your soul, the person or team you're involved with will honor your process. I feel like the feminine is feeling opposed. She's feeling unrecognized, unworthy again, and being called back to her purpose, back to her soul center. And she does need to kind of take a retreat to clear herself and clear her energy field. Integrate. Don't spiritually bypass. If you're pissed, be pissed, but integrate it. Find out why are you pissed, and then operate from your knowing of who you are and what you're worthy of, and not being aggressive, not fighting or opposing, but to be in flow, to allow to allow what is yours to flow to you naturally. Basically, Spirit's saying that, when you honor yourself, others will honor you. And if it's meant to be for you, they will also honor the process. They'll be working on their part of the process. It's kind of a message of stay in your own lane. You are a teacher. You are the holder of the flame, right? Being the divine feminine. It's saying it right here. You are the holder of the flame. Your flame never goes out. It's to be lit and burning at all times. But it also has some nice, healthy boundaries around it. It's protected. Your flame is protected. And we'll get into the opposition here in a minute. So the challenge is, Vesta warns you to share yourself rather than sacrifice yourself. There's a difference. I want to read that again. You need to share yourself rather than sacrifice yourself. Your hard work at holding the situation together may be ignored or taken for granted unless you truly know your worth. Wow. The gift is find the temple within, the place of quiet safety where you can tend to your fire and carry the sacred temple and flame with you always. Now remember, the masculine is drawn to the divine feminine, your twin flames, right? His flame is your flame. You will attract your masculine with that soul song because we are the universe, right? It's how the universe was birthed, was through the divine feminine womb. And I'm getting the hiccups, which tells me that I'm channeling. It's always my telltale sign that something besides me is coming through. So you are the carrier of the divine flame, and it is that very flame and universe, one song, soul song, that attracts the masculine. And so you're supposed to hold the flame, but hold it within a place of sharing, not over giving. And really, really, your job is to tend the flame. And the flame is in your hearth. Stop trying to fix everything and everybody by sacrificing yourself. Understand the divine law, universal law of attraction. What is meant for you will always find you. And so let's take a look at this opposition because I want to know what that's all about. All right, challenging. Okay. It is a number 8, again, which is the number of perpetual energy that ebbs and flows. And you're never going to get rid of opposition, guys. It always comes back to you in various forms. So when two planets oppose each other across the circle of the zodiac, as the sun and moon do on a full moon, both planets will either be in signs of yang elements, fire and air, or yin elements, water and earth. They stare directly at each other across the earth like partners in a wrestling match. The opposition can feel like a dare or a challenge, like boot camp, where a confrontation pushes everyone to grow. The action. This is not a comfortable situation, but that's not the point. You're being challenged to grow. Look at the situation as a dojo, a martial arts training center. Isn't that funny? I always use that. Great minds, right? Okay, so look at the situation as a dojo, a martial arts training center, and take the training. You don't have to trust the wisdom of the people you're wrestling with, but you can trust the pattern itself in this great cosmic workout. Practice your best skills, stay centered, and operate from wisdom and strategy instead of emotional heat. Listen for hints on how to improve your style. The obstacles in your way are not there to stop you, but to push you toward your personal best. This situation may be set up as a dichotomy, you or them, love or work, your ideas versus their ideas. Question the dichotomy's illusion and look for a third position of resolution, a both and solution versus either or. If the way forward feels truly blocked, look for a different path. Sometimes an opposition, particularly in transit, says you shall not pass this way. Time to find another route. An opposition dares you to proceed. Decide if this path is worth the struggle. If it is, grow those skills, hold your ground, and fight for what you believe in. You're being asked to prove to yourself and others that you have the skills needed to overcome the challenge and move forward on the next step. So the challenge is this situation is an inconvenient growth opportunity, but not a punishment. Decide if it is time to build muscles or to find a different path. The gift is this situation offers you a chance to burn through karma if you can continually respond with compassion and tough love from your highest self, taking the high road. So yes, you're allowed to get angry. You're allowed to feel opposition. But the thing is, the divine feminine brings things back into balance. She doesn't butt heads for long. When you start butting heads, Spirit's telling you to take a different route, to find a different way, to karmically challenge yourself, karmically, to heal what is causing the opposition and transmute it into new ways of behavior, new ways of showing up, new ways of finding balance. If you can't find balance within the situation, especially with your masculine and the world outside of you, because you are really stepping back into the divine feminine power of standing up for yourself, of not allowing others to create blocks on your own journey. The only blocks that can block your journey are blocks of your own focus, right? Where you place your focus. If you keep focusing on the opposition, you're just creating energetically more opposition and blocks. And so you're being asked or challenged to continue to fight for what you believe in, but not in a way that compromises your worth, value, or integrity. To be a problem solver instead of a problem creator. And maybe it's not even problems you created, it's problems presented. But being the divine feminine, you can find balance and a new way. We're literally learning through this alchemical process of integrating our divine masculine and feminine energies back into union. We are learning to create a new path, literally, to take the path of adventure, the unknown, untraveled. We are way showers. We are, what is the word I'm looking for? We are trailblazers. We are blazing new trails. And so every obstacle, and the funny thing is I don't usually watch TV, but I've been really trying to detox myself from YouTube, because that's my addiction, and to just allow myself to crochet at night or do something creative. And I put Netflix on in the background. Last night I watched Rudolph, I watched Frosty, I was watching all kinds of Christmas stuff. And there's always a dichotomy of challenge in every story. There's always obstacles and challenges, and the characters have to come up with a way to get around it or to basically give up and fail. And so we're going back to that dojo, right? The difference between a master and a student is about 1,000 more failures. And so failure is never really failure unless you allow it to be. If you roll over and succumb to it and allow your light to go out, then you experience failure. But if you keep that hearth light burning and you face those challenges, not head on, but in an alchemical way of looking for, like water, remember? Water will flow around obstacles. It will find ways to wear the edges down or to flow around or over something. And so I think that you feminines that resonate with this reading have been feeling really in this masculine energy of confrontation and opposition, where you feel like you've been butting your head. So I'm going to use another analogy. An ant, and I've used this before if you watch my channel. By the way, take a moment right now, please, everybody that's watching this and resonates, hit that thumbs up, please. We want this channel to grow. The algorithms will never pick it up. Yesterday's or the day before when I uploaded a video, it's gotten almost 200 views and only like 16 likes. So liking the video is a really, really good way to help others find the video that need it, okay? Thank you very much. I'm so grateful if you'll hit that thumbs up. And if you're new, please hit the subscribe button too. We would love to have you as part of the family. So now I want to use the analogy that I've used a lot about the ant, right? The ant in the forest comes across a mighty oak, right? Great big, huge tree. And all it can see is that it's stuck. It's blocked. It's too big to climb, too big to go around. But it's purely perception because there are other routes, right? It could go left. It could go right. It could go up if it wanted to, but that's the long way. So the eagle has a higher perspective. The eagle sees all potential. It sees that the ant could actually go backward and then left or right. Or, there are other avenues besides straightforward banging heads against the opposition, right? But the ant may not be able to see that from its perspective. And so I think what Spirit's trying to tell you is that you need to see things from a different perspective instead of beating your head against what is immovable at the moment, which for me personally is a lot of things, not just my masculine. But there are a lot of things in my life that have come up as challenges that I'm being challenged to find another way, but not to give up and let the fire burn out, but to find a way. So I really like this energy for the feminine. Let's take a look. And look, he's in the river, she's in the ocean. Whoosh! So it's number 35. Again, we've got 3 and 5. So we've got 2, 3, 5, 7, and 8. Right? This is 53. This is 35. 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay. Just checking my math, guys. So none of your numbers have changed. Those are the numbers you're working with. Masculine's working with 34, which breaks down to a 9. We've got 9, 3, 4, and 9. 3, 4, and 9. That's all they're working with is 3, 4, and 9. So if you guys are interested, you can look those up on Google for the numerology on 3, 4, and 9. Oh, I'm sorry, and they've got a 1 and a 4. So 5. So we've got 1, 3, 4, 5, 9 for the masculine. And all we have for the feminine is 8, 5, 3, and 2. Okay, the ocean. One 33. All right. The unconscious, the depths, the incomprehensible. See, the incomprehensible it's hard to understand, right? Facing challenges that are really not logical in nature, but they're more feminine in nature. They're more intuitive. They're not, you can't comprehend them with the ego mind, the masculine energy. All right. So we have the power of the ocean is unmatched. To step into its salty water is to step into the unknown. By its sheer volume, the ocean represents the unconscious, all that is beyond our understanding. We cannot live within the ocean. We cannot claim it, manage it, or own it. It rejects our every attempt to dominate nature, yet amid its overwhelming power, it calls to us, inspires us, and invigorates our life on land. It dissolves the little us, creating the big us. When the energy of the ocean is present, there is change stirring that is beyond any change you've ever known before. The ego must dissolve. Ego, opposition. The saline swells work on your every cells, or work on your very cells, your fibers, your deepest underlying beliefs. Like Aphrodite, we rise from the ocean's froth, a new being. Life is change. Let the wave crash. So this is allowing and understanding that there are certain things in our life that we are not in control of. And when we reach this place of opposition, where something is too big, too unfathomable to understand, we are asked to move into the nature of the unknown, the unknowable, the intuitive, trusting intuition, and also trusting that when there's a storm, there's going to be waves. And instead of pretending like you're not drowning, it's time for you to face those waves and ride them. Ride the wave, right? Let the waves crash where they may. You never know where it's going to take you. It's going to take you someplace new, someplace different, into the unknowable. So the feminine is being challenged at this time to really be in flow like the masculine, but her flow is more unknowable. His is knowing himself. Hers is not just knowing herself, but trusting the unknown. It's trusting the unknown. And it's also about not trying to tame the untamable, right? Masculine energy can be very untamable. It does represent action. It's a strong energy. And so if you want to tame anything that is untamable, whether it's your own masculine or the masculine or obstacles and oppositions in your life, I guess the challenge that you're facing right now as a divine feminine is to be in this state of allowing the unknown to present itself in its own way, in its own time, and to be open to explore the unknowable with intuition and trust. So what else do we have? We have the ocean displays every emotion without shame. Again, every emotion. No more spiritual bypassing of, oh, it's all beautiful and love, and I'm grateful, and rainbows and rose-colored glasses. Been there, done that, been there, doing that. It's also about allowing yourself to feel and experience every emotion without shame, to witness its glassy moonlight surface and its unforgiving storms is to know the full spectrum of the human experience. Wow. There are certain things you cannot control, and it really feels to me like the feminines right now are trying to control other people's behavior, other people, maybe even the masculine. And it's funny how these cards, and I shuffled good, and I've used this deck several times, they got number 34 and you got number 35. And they're both water elements, and one is like a raging water, and the other one is calm and flowing. And so it feels like we've kind of traded positions on the journey here, where the masculine is now going through what we've been through, and we are now kind of back facing again a cycle of wanting to control things that are beyond our control and not trusting our intuition, being in the masculine energy of conflict and mind games, right? Not mind games, but mind over matter. Like you're trying to force your will on things that are not yours to control. And so it's a very challenging state that the feminine is in. We'll take a look at the advice, but the advice I'm seeing so far is to keep the home hearth burning, right? To keep your fire lit, to face those challenges in different ways, finding compromise in a way that's not compromising your self-worth or your inner journey. So in the light attribute, deeper than deep, big dreams and discovery, self-discovery. When in the dark, subsumed, drowned, polluted, unpredictable. Says steady waves touch their surface, get in the water. No matter where you live, each drop is part of the whole. The ocean is in every tear. And that's another message too that I was kind of feeling with the ocean. The ocean is pretty much everything. Everything is water. Water represents so much. It's like we're made up of water. The earth has to be nurtured by water. Water pretty much is the essence of life. And it's all one. It's like it starts in a body of water and then it evaporates, becomes steam, right? And then it becomes a cloud, and then it releases when it gets too full and then turns into water again. It's so transmutable. It can be frozen and become solid, or it could be so many different, all elements, right? Basically, but fire. And it's kind of like playing rock, paper, scissors, right? So the feminine is being shown that everything is alchemy. Everything is one. You're part of everything. If you're in the ocean's energy, you are in the ocean, or the energy of empathically feeling all energies. So you could be very sensitive right now to your masculine's energy, to conflict, to the world, because the world is going through so many destructive patterns right now. We are tearing down the old to rebuild something better. And so it really does feel like the feminine is being asked to stay in her lane and to overcome any challenges that come up, not by fighting or resisting, but by being in the flow and understanding that being a human being includes having the negative emotions as much as the positive. And so it's okay for us to feel those negative emotions. It's just not okay for us to build or operate from them, but to find another way. All right, what else do we have? I told you it's going to be a deep reading. So we have play hard. Play hard. I'm not using the other message right now. Play hard. So Spirit is telling you, that it's time for you to realize that in every game, when you're playing a game, whether it's a good game or a bad game, right? There's always a challenge, and the challenge is to rise to the challenge but to rise to the challenge in a way. They want you to play hard, but to never forget it's play. So when you're out there sparring in the dojo with your soulmates, right, with your soul family, who are put on your path to help you practice. If you date somebody other than your twin, it's practice, right? It's it'll end up, well, it may not be karmic, but it will be an opportunity to practice what you've learned. And they also get to practice what they're learning. And it's funny because I've only dated 2 people since my divorce, and both of them turned out to be soulmates. And we didn't part ways angry or bitter or karmic in nature, owing each other karma. But we actually practiced on each other how to have healthy boundaries, how to know when you're chasing, know when you're running, how to be vulnerable and have a conversation and communicate your needs. And, of course, it's not your divine counterpart, so it's not going to be everlasting, but the friendship will be because they're part of your dojo. They're part of your tribe, right? So play hard, enjoy life, get out there and take the good and the bad and really allow yourself to experience the human experience, but to do it in a way that is different. Compromise without compromising your own worth and self. Finding the flow instead of resistance, and play. Okay, so we've got, justice, soul contract. So the feminine is in this energy of being balanced, right? She's kind of recognizing that this is a soul contract, and she's also in the place of really seeing the imbalance is what I'm hearing, not the balance, but the imbalance in the journey. Where is the imbalance? She's recognizing it, and she's being asked to find a compromise that is not compromising, which is a dichotomy, right? But it is, or a conundrum, I don't know. But it really is where Spirit is showing her where in her life is she giving too much and compromising her own healthy boundaries. And where is, because we had karma here and we had karma here, and now we have soul contract. So this is all about balancing. It's balance for them. They're in balancing energy. And the feminine is in balancing energy. But she is also being shown, because now we have 11, which is the master number. And 11 is all about divine guidance. And so the feminine is being divinely guided to find balance without compromising what's right, what's true, what is universal law. Deep message. I could end it right here, but I won't, because now we're going to take a look at, we're moving on to shared energy. So the shared energy is Wheel of Fortune, destined opportunities. So right now, the shared energy is taking advantage of what we've got to work with. Not just in the twin flame journey, but also in our experience, our earthly experience, where we are here to create change. The Wheel of Fortune is change. We're here to create change through destined opportunities that some are given by destiny and others are created through creation. I like that. And then we have apology. Both of you guys need to find a way to be vulnerable and excuse me. Actually, I'm hearing to create change without apology, without compromising our own integrity, to do things in a just, fair manner that doesn't require apologies. Because when you need to apologize to somebody, it's because you've created a karmic debt. We're here to clear karma So we are here to make amends, to make things right that are wrong, and to do it through change and destiny. So if there's any karma that you've created between each other or others, we're still cleaning that up. We're still making things right. And the communal energy is you're both kind of waiting for an opportunity to make things right with each other. And we have mastery. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So this is later stages, guys. This is later stages of the journey. We are learning that mastery. We are, coming to the end of a lesson. Now, it doesn't mean all of the lessons. It just means that we're leveling up. This union energy is going to come. It's going to be a destined opportunity to make things right using the spiritual lessons that we have learned. There you go. Thank you, Spirit. They had to kind of define to me what the message is they're bringing. And then we have soulmate. Your soulmate loves, accepts, and respects you unconditionally. That's the trust, guys. Spirit is saying that, we're learning to master the trust. I do believe there's going to be union energy, destined opportunity to make things right, to communicate in ways that we never could before with one another, creating an opportunity to use and utilize the skills that you've learned thus far. What have you mastered thus far? And soulmate is all about Spirit saying that both of you understand the soul contract. You both understand that you're restoring a part of yourself through the outer appearance of separation. And so there's going to be a destined opportunity to make things right using the skills that you've learned and mastered. And by doing so, you're going to show one another that you can love and accept and respect each other unconditionally. And it's what both of you want. It's the shared energy. This is the outcome that I would like to see. I would like a destined opportunity to make things right, to communicate, to practice what we've learned, and to love and accept and respect each other unconditionally. Through universal alignment. Wow, guys, look at the alchemy that's happening here. The balancing and alchemization that will bring this universal alignment. This is what both souls desire, or both twins, which is one soul, desire, is union. A destined opportunity to make things right, to utilize the mastery that you've learned through unconditional love and universal alignment, union. Beautiful energy. Oh my God, I got chills. All right. So now we're going to go into the next portion of the reading. This is going to be a long reading, guys. All right. Now we're going to take a look at the shadows and blocks of the masculine. All right. We have codependency. These are very harsh, guys. Trigger warning. But it is, kind of a way to really take a look at the darkness within us, right? So the masculine is facing blocks and challenges and shadow, where shadow work needs to be done, is through codependency. This is a relationship addiction. You're relying too heavily on the other person for your sense of self-worth. Give yourself more love. Now, this could be, it's not in the communal. So, and I didn't do communal. Well, that sucks, don't it? But that's okay. So whether this is toward his feminine, which it probably is, but it's also probably in karmic situations in their life. So they're learning to restore their sense of self-worth and to find balance by purging and to really step into their power and authority and look at where are they addicted to relying on other people too heavily for their own sense of self-worth. Give yourself more self-love, and that does look like what they're doing. This is beautiful. It's like Spirit is showing us where they're working right now. What shadow work are they currently in? So then we have boundaries. Okay. Develop healthy boundaries to make sure you're emotionally and mentally stable. It's okay to say no. Doesn't it feel like we've role reversed here? Like we went first. We learned all these lessons. We've kind of mastered that. Now we're being called to master our masculine energies. And so we're trading places, is what we're doing. And so they are in the feminine energy of codependency and learning healthy boundaries and jealousy, envy. Remind yourself that no one has it all. It's okay to celebrate others' successes. You truly are good enough. It's all about self-worth for the masculine right now. It's all about not looking at themselves and judging how far, what have I created? Am I abundant? Do I have a lot of money? Is my work a good mirror of my ability, my capabilities, of my highest and best work? Where have I let things go? I'm feeling some masculines are worried about their appearance. Envy, they could be looking at others, comparing themselves, it could even be to the feminine. I know that my masculine does that. He sees that I've gotten my divorce. I've taken control of my life. I've taken control of my health and my appearance. And I do know that he's been a little envious of that because he's stated so, I wouldn't say deeply, but I would say that he definitely feels like there's some catching up that needs to happen before he's ready to be with me, because he doesn't want me to be further along than he is. And that makes sense. I mean, that's part of the balance, right? We need to strike a balance in that as well. All right. Blocks and shadow work. Shadow and blocks. We have coffin. Endings. Endings bring new beginnings, growth, change, liberation, and transition. It's the death card energy. It's all about transformation. It's about allowing relationships that are karmic in nature, learn the lesson, release them, let them go, let the endings happen, because endings bring new beginnings. Endings bring new beginnings and growth and change and liberation, transformation. So there are karmic cycles, karmic relationships that they are tying up, and they're learning by releasing and letting go of things that don't serve them. They can find a way to be in better health, better, in a better place in their own life. So the things they've been clinging to, belief systems, people, relationships, they're learning to weed their own garden through knowing their self-worth and wanting something better for themselves. Wanting something better for themselves enough to actually take the actions necessary to create it, because they are realizing they are worthy of having it. And then oh my God, we have pay what you owe, karma. You receive what you put out. Karma is just another word for lessons. So they are ending karmic lessons, which we all kind of knew, but damn, to have it come out like that. So yes, death card, there are endings that need to happen, karmic lessons that they are transmuting and learning and releasing. And look at the energy. Just looking at the way this is two hands giving and receiving, and it's going in a circle like karma. What you put out, you receive back. And they're learning about where they have created a lot of the situations that they are now in, that they were also part of the creation process. They're taking accountability for it. And it looks like they are being shown how to learn the lesson and release it, and to create change within their own life. And it has to start in their own experience, separate to the feminine, is the way I'm taking that. Okay? Because the feminine has to do that as well, and probably has done a lot of this. This feels very familiar. This feels like where I've been. This feels like where I'm at. So depending on what you resonate with being masculine or feminine. All right. What are the feminine's shadows? Ooh, resisting change. Ask yourself why you are not wanting to change. Look at the positive side to the change. So this is, again, that opposition, that butting heads with, old belief systems, old ideas of it just feels like a fight, like you're fighting right now. We're fighting for what we know we deserve. And really, we don't need to fight for what we deserve. What we deserve is just by nature, the law of attraction, on its way to us. The thing is I feel like we have been impatient and too focused on what they're doing and not focused enough on what we're doing. We're wanting them to clear the karma they've earned with us and vice versa, but they can't do that yet until they've done it within their own creations. If they're married, or if they're living at home with their parents, or if they're in a job they hate, or if they've just really fallen into addictive behaviors, or whatever, it has to start with the self. And so where I challenge the divine feminines, because I know that the majority of you watching are, I challenge you, where are you resisting change? Where are you opposing changes in your life, fighting against them, fighting against the ocean, right? Fighting against things that you can't control. It's time to allow, to be in the allowing of things that you don't understand. There's something coming for you that you can't really see, and you're resisting the path to it. We have victim mentality. The universe wants what's best for you, not the worst. Change your perspective. Again, resistant energy, feeling like the things that you deserve, the things that, it's like this whole damn journey. I've worked so hard on this journey to get what I deserve, to stop being that victim. And yet right now, the only person victimizing you is you, because you are resisting the change. And what needs to change is your point of view, your perspective. Don't be the ant, be the eagle. Nothing happens to you. Everything is happening for you. Stop trying to resist the storm. The storm is a healthy storm. It's here to clear things out. And I feel like you're gripping really tightly to impatience, to feeling like you know what you deserve, you know what is meant for you, and it feels like you're angry because the universe is still withholding. It's not giving you what you deserve. Your masculine's not giving you what you deserve. Your abundance might be trickling in instead of flowing in. Where are you in resistance to the changes that are being asked of you? To take things a different route, to compromise without being compromised. So y'all got 3. That's cool, because sometimes I don't count. It's not a fair thing, but it turned out fair. I like that. Self-absorbed. Seek to feel what others are feeling. Express empathy to others to overcome this. Again, This is, we went from one extreme to the other. We went from being too loving and giving and, unconditional. We were spiritually bypassing, and we're still spiritually bypassing. But now it's we went from being self-aware to being self-absorbed, which, like I said, is like trading places with the masculine. We're kind of being demanding that our masculine in the universe, the world, our external experiences bring us exactly what the hell we deserve, and bring it now. Or I'm going to have a little temper tantrum. I'm going to go to my room and pout. And I'm going to feel victimized and be self-absorbed and not realize that everybody's doing the best they can, is what I'm hearing. Everybody's doing the best they can with what they're transmuting and learning. And so it does feel like we're kind of calling them karmically to pay what they owe us. But we're doing it in the masculine energy of resistance and opposition, not in universal alignment, universal law of knowing and having faith that what is meant for you is already on its way to you. Try to have some empathy to understand that others are on a journey too, and that finding this universal alignment is not just your cross to bear. It's kind of being empathetic to the journey. Try to remember how hard this part of the journey was for you to purge, to heal, to see all of your flaws, to face that mirror, to transmute and take back control of everything that you basically gave up on. It's not an easy place to be, and you need to be less oppositional, less raging, less hard. Remember what your soul contract is. You're here to balance the scales as well as them. And I feel like you feel like they owe you an apology. My guess is that's universal energy. You owe them apologies too. It's right there in the shared energy. So your shadow work, resisting change, victim mentality, and being self-absorbed, being hard, raging, opposing, conflicted. You should be in this energy of flow and allow justice and balance and universal alignment to happen naturally, because it is the universal law of vibration. You're not vibrationally matching them, and you know how. You've already mastered it. You've learned the spiritual lesson, but you're not operating from it. If you were back in the energy that they are currently going through, you would become a vibrational match, and that's when universal alignment and destined opportunities for union energy can happen. You've got to match their energy. You got to get out of this victim mentality of I'm tired of being hurt, I'm tired of being ignored, I'm tired of being ghosted, I'm tired. Resisting the change, because change is happening. Embrace what's changing and be an allowance of it. Then we have photograph. Looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, making new memories. So it's like a life review. You're looking back over your life with them, your life with other karmics, your soul contracts. You're missing them. You're missing you. And you're a little antsy. You're looking at the horizon, wanting to experience great change now. Like now, I want it all and I want it now. Right? Spirit's saying, take a look at where you've been. What have you mastered? Why are you not operating from the mastery that we have taught you and we know you've learned? Why are you allowing impatience and lack of empathy? You're desiring to create new memories, but you're trying to do it from the past energy, nostalgia, looking back, right? We're not creating any more from the past. We're creating from the now. The past doesn't exist anymore. You're looking at all the things that they've done, all the things that everybody's done to you, victim mentality. And you're wanting to create something different, but you're wanting to create it through this energy, this masculine energy of opposition, not the divine feminine energy that you have already learned to master. You just kind of chucked it to the wind, and it's probably has something to do with, what's going on energetically in the collective, because the ocean is the collective. You're probably mirroring a lot of what's going on out there, and Spirit's asking you to look at how are you allowing it to affect you on a personal level, and why are you wanting to create your future from that past energy that you've already been shown doesn't serve you. Try a different way. Try a different way. And we have, you're always on my mind. Thoughts and memories constantly cycle the mind. You need to walk away. I'm already seeing in my mind's eye that 8 of Cups. Detach your energy from them. Quit looking at the photographs. Quit thinking about what didn't work. Be very mindful of what's on your mind. I want you to sit back and observe your thoughts. Where are they at? And what energy are they creating? Are you creating from it? Because if you're wanting to change the future, then you have to stop looking at the past, and you need to forgive not just your masculine, but all of the universe, right? Where are you overthinking? Where are you stuck in this victim mentality, resisting the changes instead of creating them? And how can you create something better if you're still operating from the old energy? So my guess is you're probably really heavily focused on your masculine, and you're not focused on the growth. You're focused on the stagnation. You can't see what's really happening, and so all you see is void. And it's creating nostalgia. It's creating this space of lack. I love you. I love you. I miss you. I miss you. Where are you? Why aren't you here? I need you. You're not showing up for me. Boo hoo, boo hoo. Self-absorbed, victim mentality. The change needs to occur within so that it can universally align and change without. And so all the things that you've been blaming them for are the very things that you are currently creating. Harsh lessons. Wow, because it resonates with me. All right, so now we're going to take a look at his advice from Spirit. 5 of Swords, mind games and control. 8 of Pentacles, work in progress. And 10 of Pentacles. So the masculine is being guided by Spirit right now to build that foundation, to take a look at who they are, what are they becoming, what were they versus what they want to be, to create this 10 of Pentacles, this grounding, secure. They're really honestly recreating themselves, and they're being asked to get out of their head, to stop, you're both in your head, to stop playing the mind games with yourself about trying to control others. and to not allow the ego to control your journey, your behaviors, your actions. And if they're in a karmic situation, I also see here that they're uncomfortable, that there's control games being played in the home, and that they're working on clearing that as well. They're working on healing and releasing that because it's not stable anymore. It's not the ultimate achievement. I'm hearing back to the drawing board. So they're being shown where their thoughts don't serve them, where their belief systems don't serve them, where their external experiences and friendships or karmic relationships don't serve them. They are being shown how to heal that and work on themselves to become something better, to really finally find that ultimate achievement that they thought that they had created or were creating. And now it's back to the drawing board is what I'm hearing, back to the drawing board. And we have surrender. I can release my need to control. Again, there's that word control. Control. So the masculine is trying to, or is being guided by spirit to look at the places that they have been trying to control that were unyielding. And they are in the river energy of surrender. They're finally looking at things like, you know what? I've been trying for way too long, way too hard to resist the fact that change is happening. And I can either get on board or I can keep resisting. And it feels like they're being guided by spirit to move into the feminine passive energy of surrender, of trust, and working on self-worth. They're not resisting the change anymore. They're surrendering. They see that things need to change and that they need to create something different, something better. And to stop trying to control something that I'm hearing has expired, probably a soul contract of some sort, not just to people or karmics, but also to old belief systems that were very masculine in energy of trying to control, trying to make things happen in situations that couldn't be changed. Then we have new moon in Pisces, attuned to the divine. And we see that here. We see the masculine attuning to the divine, following the guidance, following spirit's lead, tapping into the feminine energy. Feminine energy is intuition. It's divine guidance. It's the inner knowing. New moon in Pisces. Pisces, they're in a lot of watery energy. You could be dealing with the Pisces. You don't have to be, but if you are, there's a little extra confirmation. But the masculine is actually tuning into the divine. They're following their intuition, or they're being guided to, right? Because this is spiritual advice. We have inner child. Allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. Again, the masculine is healing their inner child, healing their life, healing their wounds, learning to give compassion instead of judgment, learning their worth, reparenting themselves. And if they're not doing it, they're being guided to do it. Because I asked, what is spirit's guidance? This is what they're being guided to do, to surrender, to attune to the divine, to nurture and heal the inner child, to stop trying to control things that can't be controlled, to go back to the drawing board when it comes to creating their own stability and security in the world, right? Foundations. I got a lot about foundations over here. Oh my God. So we got surrender, and now we have allowing. Says radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment, so what's needed can come next. They are really being guided to surrender, guys, and to allow, not to try to control, but to allow what's meant to happen to happen. This is where you need to be. If you want to create this destined opportunity to make things right and to find union, you need to be in this energy, because you've already learned this. You've already mastered it. You've learned the spiritual lesson. Spirit's saying, why are you resisting what we've taught you? Because that's where they're at, and that's where you're going to find that universal alignment. So let's take a look at your advice from Spirit. Oh my God, I told you I saw this. So we have 8 of Cups, evolving. You need to walk away, and I hate that word, walk away. You need to pull back your energy. Stop over investing in things that you can't control too. You need to be in this allowing things to evolve in a natural state. Instead of trying to force things to happen over here, there's evolution happening between both souls. Both of you are evolving. And so you're being guided by Spirit to stop focusing on the past, on the missed opportunities, on rejection. It feels like rejection. And it's also kind of guidance that you're going to miss an opportunity for union with your masculine if you can't find yourself in a more balanced place of your feminine energy. You've just role reversed. That's what we do. We chase, we run and we chase, we run and we chase, we run and we chase until we learn until we master the spiritual lesson. The spiritual lesson is you don't chase them and you don't run from them, and they don't chase or run. It's in finding that place where allowing the flow of the universe to bring you to the same place on your journey. The same place, not the ending. It's the journey. It's finding a communal place on the journey. That's union energy, an opportunity to really come together and to compare notes. And so you're feeling like you need to walk away, or I'm sorry, you're feeling like if you walk away, you'll miss an opportunity. But Spirit's trying to tell you, actually, if you walk away, you're going to find this universal alignment and equality. Stop trying to force things to happen. Just go about your merry business. Work on you. Focus on you. Keep the, fire burning, the home hearth burning. You attract. You are the attractor. You are the attractor. It is that magnetic pull of the universe, the one soul song. It's you. You are the flame. Allow the moths of your life, your divine masculine, your perfect job, your soul family, allow them to flow into your life in a way that is balanced, contractually, soul contract, balanced for equality. So your advice so far is walking away, not forever, guys. You're walking toward your wish fulfillment. You're just not happy in the energy you're in. So you need to pull yourself out of it. Walk away from whatever the past was, because you're reflecting on that past energy. Walk away from that past energy. You're not going to miss an opportunity. Well, you could miss an opportunity, but only if you're not showing up in vibrational alignment, universal alignment. Six of Pentacles is that balance. It's the soul contract, right? It's all of this is all about balance and flow. Universal alignment, equality, soul contract. Spirit's saying you can't miss what's meant for you. What's meant for you is a contract. It's on its way, and it's fair, and it's just, and it's balanced, and you're resisting, and you're creating obstacles where you don't need to. Just focus not on yourself as self-absorbed, as a victim, as impatient or missing or glass half empty, but in a more empowered way of glass half full. I understand and honor the separation because alchemy is happening. Magic is happening. Divine timing is happening. It's the same damn message, but it's one that we fall out of alignment with over and over and over again. This doesn't happen in a day. It takes time. So again, you're being asked to pull your energy back into the feminine energy and stop trying to control things that are out of your control. Allow the universe to bring you what is contractually yours. It's already on its way. You just don't see it. Because why? Because you're looking at the past. You're looking at all the other times in your life that people didn't show up, that you didn't get your way, that things worked against you, not for you. Resisting the change. The change is what you've already mastered. Why are you resisting it? You know the lesson, and yet you're resisting it, and thereby creating the very stuck energy that you don't want to experience, because the two of you cannot find a union window if you're not vibrationally aligned. Equals. And so if you resonate, and I do with this, you need to go back to balance, back to that divine feminine energy of allowing, of recognizing your worth, of it's compromising without being compromised. Okay? Very big lesson. All right, next we have growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Then you need to stop looking at the past because it's not there. The past is what is gone. It's what's changed. The constant in life is change. Change is constant. It's allowing the changes. It's like being like the ocean, right? Allowing the ebb and the flow, the good days, the bad days. It's experiencing on a deeper level that soul's growth. Resisting change keeps you from growing. Then we have, oh my God, last quarter moon in Capricorn. Leave the past behind. Holy shit, guys. Do not keep reflecting on what you don't have, what you didn't get, what you were never given. Focus on what you're creating. Focus on the growth. Focus on the mastery. You've already learned the lesson. You've just got to embody and integrate that lesson. Try a different way. Don't try it the way you've always tried it. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different outcome. It's time to grow beyond, to evolve beyond the past. Nobody did what was right in the past. That's why it's the past, right? Learn from it and move forward. Grow from it. Grow from the past. Don't get stuck in it. Then we have extraordinary. There's a wild and impetuous uniqueness to you that deserves to be honored. That is, I am not a victim. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am worthy. And I don't need to chase any damn thing, because everything that is meant for me contractually shows up for me. It is the balance of the universe. It is what happens naturally. It doesn't have to be forced. It doesn't have to be forced. Play hard, get out there, create, have fun. Stop focusing on what you don't have. Allow the change to happen. There's growth happening. Allow the growth to happen. You are extraordinary. And if you're feeling like the absence of what you desire is somehow punishing you, then you don't see the true growth. You haven't learned, you haven't truly mastered the lesson of it's impossible. It's absolutely impossible for what is contractually yours not to show up. Faith. And also, I'm thinking the peacock is masculine energy, because in nature, usually the masculine birds are the most colorful. And so you're in this masculine energy of trying to no, I take it back. Spirit saying it's okay to balance your masculine and feminine energy. You can create opportunities to attract your mate by being the extraordinary creature that you are. Just being you. Until you can be authentically you, your divine counterpart cannot find your light or your universal song. They can't find it unless you become it. That's what's going to attract them, is you are different than any other vibration in the whole damn universe. You are extraordinary and unique. And until you can fully step into that energy, they can't find you. It is what attracts them is the flame, their divine feminine. Or they would be attracted to any divine feminine, because there's lots of divine feminines incarnated right now. You know, your twin could find me, be attracted to my energy, or vice versa. The only way that you can attract your divine masculine is by being your true, authentic soul song, because that's the pitch by which they are attuned. It's the universal match. We have self-love. Let the wall fall that separates me from my own vulnerable inner child. Look at both of you. Let the wall fall that separates me from my own vulnerable inner child. I long to take care of myself like I never have before. Both of you are being told by Spirit, that's where you're going to find that soul song. That's where you're going to match energies, is in how you were created, the child within, that 0 point energy, what you came here as, not what you become through challenges and loss, but who you were in the beginning and dawn of time. That's how we're unifying back from separate, apart, back into one universal song. Take care of yourself like never before. Again, it's all about, you need to be in the energy they're in. Energy of self-growth, self-evolution, self-love. And then we have true offering. Oh my God. True offering takes what can be an unbearable cross and returns it to love. The greatest sacrifice or offering that we can make is taking all the burdens and all the things, the would-haves, could-haves, should-have-beens, the past, and just returning it back to love, transmuting it back to love. And to the mastery of it is to realize that You weren't the victim of it. It was done for you. It was an opportunity for growth. The past was a lesson that was an opportunity for growth and change, and you're both learning that, but you haven't yet forgiven and completely released the past, not just each other, but everything, every single thing that ever hurt your inner child, everything. All the times you didn't get what you want, all the times your dreams were squashed, all the times you were placed under scrutiny or judgment or unconditional or conditional love, all the times that you were programmed to believe something that was absolutely not true. And guys, I am looking out my window and I'm not 100% certain, but I think I see a dandelion in bloom. It's small. When I'm done filming, I'm going to go out and look, because Spirit's been bringing to me things to love. I'm supposed to be focusing on the love, because my heart chakra has been really closed to experiencing the love and beauty in the world and trying to see things from the heavenly perspective instead of the earthly perspective. And I really do think I'm seeing a dandelion in bloom in the middle of December. I'll let you know in the next video if I remember. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the advice Spirit's giving both of you, some place where you can meet in the middle, where you can find this universal alignment. Okay, purpose. I know what I am here to do. Wow. Both of you guys have a soul purpose, and it's time to step into it separately, because that's what's going to bring you together, is the knowing that you aren't so different after all. You share a core wound, you share a core soul song, and a life purpose. And it doesn't have to be, well, I'm a reader, so they're a reader. I'm a healer, so they're a healer, or my healing modality is Reiki. Their healing modality might be talking with friends at work, or loving children, or whatever. But it's still the same purpose. And the purpose is to create a heaven on earth experience. And you both share that purpose. That is your soul song. To keep the hearth, right? To hold the light for everybody. We have take inspired action, full moon in Virgo. So where are we still procrastinating on the guidance that we are being given? Today, your guidance is to get back into your feminine energy, not with rose-colored glasses, not allowing yourself to feel the shadow, to feel the hurt or feel the pain, but in a way of transmuting it, truly healing it, and to place your focus on the growth that you have had. Where were you a year ago, 2 years ago? I've been on this journey at least 6 years now, 3 heavy, 3 expedited, but probably my whole life, but I mean with recognition, with awareness. Where have you grown? It's time to take account. If you're going to look at the past, don't look at your failures. Look at your successes. Look at where you've grown. Look at how you've changed. Look at what you've mastered. If you're going to focus on the past, which I'm not suggesting, but at least if you're going to take a stroll down memory lane, take a look at where you've come from and what you've changed for the better. Take inspired action. Both of you know what you need to do. It's just fear of rejection. So we have non-duality. Oh my God. Unification, guys. Your advice is let your authentic humanity shine forth while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become fluent at doing both. That is union. That is union. Not being separate, not being in duality, but to see where we are all alike, where we are all divine beings having a human experience, honoring both parts of ourself, the inner child, the shadow, the divine child, the divine adult. Being in that energy of knowing that everything I experience, others experience. And where I come from is where everybody comes from. It's the namaste. I see the divine within you that is within me, and I honor it. And when the two of us can meet and honor fully, that's when union happens. So non-duality, not him versus you or you versus him, not fighting and resisting, but being in the divine flow of allowance and action. That's the balance, the masculine energy of doing what you're inspired to do and trusting the inspiration. The divine versus the human experience in union. We have lost and found. What was once lost is about to be found. Thanks to the lost and found fairy. Sometimes she can help us find things we never even realized was lost. It's finding ourselves, finding our truest nature, finding God within, God, goddess within, finding union, non-duality internally and creating it externally. It's beautiful. What is lost to you can never stay lost, ever. It will always find you. That's what we're here to learn, is universal law of attraction. What is meant for you contractually will never, ever miss you. What was lost was never truly lost. It was with me all the while. It was with you all the while. What is that song? If you know, drop it in the comments. I can't remember it. It's knowing that separation is the illusion of the human experience, but it's just the illusion. It's the matrix. When you peel back all the onion layers of the construct of duality, you find the union, that underneath it all, we are all one. It's just the universe expressing itself in many different experiences. This isn't just finding your divine counterpart, it's finding the universe within you. It's reuniting with divine source. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. And we have, you deserve love, you are lovable, right? Of course. So, I hope you guys like this. This has been a really long reading, almost 2 hours. So for collective reading, that's a long one. Not so much for pick-a-piles where you have 3 separate readings you're doing. This was one reading. So let me know in the comments section if it resonated. If you followed me all the way to the end, then thank you so much for your loyalty. Let me know also in the comments that you watched right up until the end, okay? Drop the word peace. No, drop the word now in the comment section if you watched all the way to the end. More comments, smash the thumbs up. That's how we're going to get the algorithm to find us, to put us out there. And the time is now, guys. Now, we've got a huge union window coming, and we need for all the lost twins out there that are struggling in separation, in duality, in the matrix, to find their soul song, to attract back into oneness, to create the future. So I love you. Drop it down in the comment section so that I know you guys watch till the end. And don't forget to book your own private reading if you're struggling. Gift a reading to someone if you know they're struggling. And it is Christmas time, and me and Jesse, we're not getting as many readings because everybody's spending a lot of money on gifts. So if you would like to donate to the channel, you don't have to, but if you feel called to, there is my PayPal link below, and there's also my Amazon wish list. Everything on my Amazon wish list is stuff that we would use here on the channel. So you're not just giving to me, you're also giving to the journey, to your journey, because I use those gifts to read for you. Okay, so I love you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, and I will see you soon because I'm going to be creating a lot of content. Namaste.